I'm Kamilaroi fella. We're the emu people, the freshwater people. I'm an artist, I'm a surfer, I'm a martial artist. Always had a question, where am I from? There's When my dad passed away a couple of years ago, I grew up with this, which is the Barry motto, family, namesake. What is it? And it had Buddha Avant, and it's Irish. So I always said, "Oh, Barry, we're from Ireland. Where's Mum from?" Because Mum didn't really know her ancestry, or she didn't ever talk about it. When I started my art journey with Auntie Joy Summers down at Coolangatta TAFE, I walked into Coolangatta TAFE. She asked me where I'm from. I sort of said, "Well, I was born in Victoria, but you don't mean that, do you?" She goes, "No, I don't mean that." And I was I'm moving around and I'm going, "Oh, something weird's happening. This is a weird story." Anyway, here it is. And she recognised that I didn't know that I was Aboriginal. And then I just had an out-of-body experience. I'm on a satellite looking down a map of Australia, and I say, "Oh, from out there, I'm from the back of Burke." And then 2 years later, my grandfather passed, my mum's father, and we did some family tree research. My mum's brother gave me some history of where our family's from. And I confirmed that our country, Kamilaroi country, which goes out to Narrabri Way, which backs onto Burke. So I guess this conversation is some facts about the history of me, but it's also the feeling without the facts that I get confirmed later on. Come back to listen to the heart and which way it goes, and a lot of conversations have gone down that road. I've had some really interesting near-death experiences with my heart and my head, and every time I've listened to my heart, I look back and go, "Wow, that's what that message was." Andara, so journey. It's a word to describe um, passages of time and place and space, I guess. There's a dimensionality to it. There's obviously painting on a canvas is a two-dimensional space that we look at it, but with trickery we can have a depth to it. It could be a three-dimension. It can have a fourth dimension, so to speak. When we're outside our own body looking at something. So that's what I've always been interested. I guess the layers of things. The first layer is the original layer, so to speak, and then things are built on top of that, layer upon layer. And I think for me, my life is like that, is that original essence, which I've always had a connection to, but I've got facts about that in my journey. I've got my own indigeneity. This sort of conversation is come back to my identity and how I bring the world I live in, which is contemporary world, with the traditional world, which is the time it's always been, and even time before time. We talk about before the Big Bang. We talk about lots of different stuff that is like, the world is only getting a glimpse of this in quantum theory. For me, the big picture is learning my own faculty, learning my own body constitution, learning my mind, learning my heart, learning how those operate, and then seeing how that can work with other people. And that's where our power is. Power with softness is repeatable. Power with a masculine energy is like a rugby player. He comes on for 20 minutes and he goes, "Oh, I need to have a rest now." You can't keep it going. So the new power is sustainable. It's an Indigenous concept. 60,000, 80,000, 120,000 years. Something about that is continuity. It's being able to repeat it, being able to do it again in context with working with our environment, working with the people that we're in connection with. So what is creativity? Is really, for me, the essence is what is authenticity. It's a presence. It's nearly tangible feeling when you're in company with it. That's what creativity is for me. And it's not just in our First Nations culture, we don't have a word for art. Art and creativity are the same in the Western paradigm for me. And art is about communication. If we don't have art, Heart, ART, if you don't have art, you don't have heart.